items online, but you also have the flexibility of trying to protect Azir in the mid from the Xin Zhao LeBlanc combo. You can even play around Misfortune and Rel with the important objective fights.
Yeah, we're seeing that aggression kind of come through here. Ult.
Oh, the first ultimate from Xiaohao. It's a hit.
It is working out. Rio going to try and get something back. He's a level up here on Xiaohao, who of course does not have that ult available. And he lands the smite.
Okay, well, Rio is still level 7, but he doesn't have his support or his AD carry near him. Parukia forces the flash out of him with the Q. Magnastorm locks him down. Crescent Guard pushes 3 members back. OMG arrives, but not in time, because Xiaohao commits his own flash to ensure that Rio goes down.
CS in the jungle. Really well done from EDG to capitalize on some mistakes, and this is what we were talking about with OMG. Are they ready for this moment? A lot of young players that have not really been tested so far. It's not looking good in terms of their decision-making.
Oh, potentially under the tower. Woo! Haichao in the face of Parukia.
At this point, I think both of them could benefit from it in terms of their late game. When you talk about teams that aren't particularly consistent in the 5v5s, having those extra stats can be really useful, and OMG kind of recognized that. You call it out, Rafa.
But because Xiaohao shows himself on the bottom side of the map, that allows OMG to invest all their resources into picking up the Rift Herald, as well as using it to crash into the top tier 1 turret.
I mean, this is the play right now. Starry, got to be very careful under this tower. Looks like he is going to have some backup from Moham, but Angel!
Okay. It's a nice attempt by Angel, gets the flash out of Moham. They'll be able to at least try and punish it the next time they see this Nico alone. Or
Xiaohao's just going to take this time to start taking some camps, and this has been one of the most passive Pantheon games you will ever see. No skirmishing happening right now, just going to be yet another macro trade.
The race that we're in, and I'm not sure if you saw the interview with, I think it was Griffin and Sven, but they were talking about just like how jungle in this meta and this year feels so much more farm intensive and farm resourceive. Like, even if you're not playing like a super hard carry champion, if you don't farm your camps, it feels like the game is slipping away from your grasp and you don't feel nearly as strong as the other champion who is just power farming like crazy.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's really important to make sure you have gold to actually fight in this current meta. And Xiaohao has that. He's got the 2 items completed, something that Rio has not yet done on the Xin Zhao. This is about a 500 gold lead for the 2-kill Pantheon. This is potentially the time to use it, though. You're talking about a comp that really spikes in the mid game. OMG are just going to be able to walk down and trade these mid lane turrets to get even more gold. One thing in this comp, and that could be a bit of an issue in the later part of the game. Misfortune not exactly known for her stability in the later parts of these games, but it's all going to come down to execution. Just some trade of side lane towers here. Angel going to get a bit more gold in the pocket.
Where's it coming from? It's behind, but we got more action in the mid lane. Leave under fire, gets knocked up. The cleanse is not going to stop him from going down, and he recognized that there was no point in trying to flash away, so he's just going to have to accept his death on that one. Meanwhile, the TP from Angel did not find haichao. He escapes, and our OMG's just going to flip the Baron here at 21 minutes? I like this.
They absolutely can. Angel burned teleport on the bottom side of the map, and you killed all their gold in the AD carry. This is a Baron that is on the map to take for OMG, and they are pulling the trigger right now.
Xiaohao has flash available. If they can get into the pit, you can always try and 50-50 smite steal with the power of empowered Q and smite on your side as the Pantheon. ZDZ is going to get vision of the pit, but Moham holds both Angel and ZDZ at the door. They turn off the Baron. The Baron resets. Xiaohao jumps right on top of Rio, and the Crescent Guard pushes them momentarily before he eventually falls. ZDZ is 1v4 in the backline, is able to hold them all strong by himself, and OMG are forced to... checking to see if he could burn the flash out of the support. Emperor's Divide was not quite ready yet either. EDG start up the Dragon. This is the 3rd one of the game. If OMG somehow steal it, it would put them at soul point. Haichao is threatening on the right side. Curtain Call unloads. First bullet comes through. Second, third. Looking for the 4th. It's the smite from Xiaohao that secures the Dragon. And ZDZ is able to take... Better watch where you step in. Is Haichao. Not quite level 16, but does take a 50% chunk out of Angel's health bar. And Rio's here to assist on the play. Emperor's Divide pushes him back momentarily, but Haichao cleans up the kill. These are the picks they want to look for, but a collapse. Here comes the Avengers from EDG. Grand Starfall onto Hery, but he is here to turn the tides. ZDZ no longer has dominance. They could not fight this fight without their buttons. Crash down and Magnastorm onto 2, but it's the Palm Blossom that answers back, but the bullet time starts shredding the members of OMG as a response. Xiaohao still surviving, but one more bullet from Starry and a flash away. OMG finally find the window they were looking looking for all game long, and EDG succumb to the aggression.
No damage, no problem. We kill the Azir under tower. You mentioned it. Haichao finds the angle to get onto the primary carry for EDG, and from that point onwards, there is no damage. It's a very, very bad Pantheon ultimate onto the top side.
Finally getting that leverage that they had been desperately needing to pry open from EDG, who have been, for the most part, playing a very patient, a very safe game. But one lapse in judgment. As we called it before, there are some ultimate buttons that were already down. You would think that EDG would just say, okay, you know what, Angel dies here. We're not going to overcommit onto this play. We'll just wait for him to come back up and we can try and punish at the Baron. That's not the case. And now they're in the situation where they're starting to lose an inhibitor structure off of the siege. Angel was pushing on the top side of the map. ZDZ is behind them. He popped Dominus. Who is he going to go for? Angel's on the left side flank. Rio pushes them away with the Crescent Guard. But Starry has already popped Parukia, and now it's a 5-on-4 in favor of OMG instead, so they can resume the siege into the inhibitor.
It's super uncoordinated from EDG. They are marching down into the base right now, and they can keep going. They killed the Rel. These are towers that are in danger. OMG might not want to stick around too long. EDG going to try to capitalize on maybe some miscommunication, but it's just going to be a ton of gold going into the pocket of OMG as they continue to siege down mid.
They jumped right onto the mid lane. Oh, but Xiaohao's the first one that gets pumped. Hery's way too tanky on the Cassante, not able to get a kill back or a trade in time. It does stop the siege for now, but that allows OMG to get a free access to the dragon, and that's going to give them soul point.
This is huge for OMG. We talked about Soul being big for them earlier on in the game. Felt like that was starting to slip away from their fingers, but a couple of big plays, one gigantic team fight get them right back into it. Soul point acquired, about a 3.5k gold lead now for OMG.
8 stacks on the Dark Seal. I'm just waiting for him to feel himself a bit and build that Medjai's to really seal the deal on this game. ZDZ's Sterix Gauge is popped off of the pressure from this LeBlanc. We called it. At the beginning of draft came in, we were very excited to see this LeBlanc come through and for OMG to just recognize their strengths.
For everybody. EDG kind of have to start feeling like they're pressured to pull this trigger. Minute 30 on Baron. Here we go.
Oh, there's the trigger pulled. Magnet Storm into the bullet time, but it's a GA exchange by Rio as he flashes away to safety. Hery is able to hold the line for the rest of EDG members. And unfortunately for them, they get a GA popped in exchange for Parukia's life, who will not be able to return to the Rift for another 30 seconds. It seems like it's enough time to at least stop. Another re-engage. It's from Xiaohao onto the back line. Moham with the Pop Blossom doesn't find anyone. Angel is trying to look for the 1v1 against Starry, but he loses because spears don't beat guns. But EDG are going to continue the push anyway and force the back line away as haichao goes in a little too low. Almost going down to Leaves bullet.
Yeah, very notable. Starry actually picks up a Guardian Angel of his own for this next upcoming fight. This Jhin gets to play so aggressive from this point onwards. It's going to do so much damage in these fights. Parukia going to look for a flank, but they're just fighting without him.
He's going to get spawned on the traps here. Bullet time doesn't get much value, but ZDZ flashes into the back line. Rio tries to hold them back. Moham with the Paw Blossom on to 2. Leave is caught in the middle of everyone, and Leave is trying to do his best to survive. Locket Shield keeps him up for one more kill before he goes down. Starry, his GA has been slain on haichao. I don't know if he can bail out his AD carry from this one as Angel stabs him to death. Rio on the other side. ZDZ gonna try to lock him down. haichao trying to pull EDG members off of his jungler, but he gets slain anyway. And OMG's late game is starting to fall apart. EDG are clutching it up when it matters most.
Rafa, we have a certified banger on our hands for game number 1. The back and forth action as EDG starts to take this dragon is incredible. haichao was here though, and they have low health bars. This could be scary. They can't stay on this dragon.
Angel's forced to go in. Yeah, Angel! The only way out was forward in that instance. Had the trust in the shield off of the shifting sands. Gets the better end of haichao.
An already dead Cassante. This fight is over. It's a fantastic start for EDG despite not being in a perfect position for it. And as you can see in picture, they're not just going to get the dragon, they're going to get the Baron too.
Rio cannot get into the pit. No flash available just yet. And GA was already expended in. Now that he has both Mercury Crushers as well as the Banshee's Veil. He can split push quite safely, and the rest of EDG are trying to push through mid lane into the tier 2 turret.
Yeah, they are doing so successfully. This mid turret will not stand for much longer, so they continue their siege on the top side as well. Just so much damage coming down. EDG have a ton of tools to be able to collapse here. OMG have to answer this quickly. They're going to lose their entire base.
I mean, Angel has just completely destroyed 2 structures back-to-back in one swift sequence. And he's poking and prodding Hery, trying to support this 2 cannon-empowered Baron minion wave. EDG pushing through the mid lane. Angel is threatening to collapse. He regroups with the team, ready to just get a couple of auto attacks in and knock out this inhibitor tower in the mid lane. ZDZ occupying haichao's attention, gets chunked out, does not have TP, so that's going to be the end of EDG's siege. Being called back by his team, since EDG are about to start marching up to the inhibitor structures in the bot lane. Tier 2 turret did not last that long. And haichao now here to defend.
Form of OMG progression in the mid lane here.
EDG are forced to give up a lot of their vision control that they had in that bottom jungle quadrant once Xiaohao was spotted looming over the top side of the map. Rest of EDG now taking up stock here in the bottom Dragon River, getting ready for that dragon spawn. TP comes in from haichao, looking to flank on the leave on the left side. He's caught up! He pops the misfortune! Moham into the backline with a pop blossom, trying to follow up on the Angel next. It's all into him to provide the damage now. ZDZ and Xiaohao and Parukia trying to push on forward and provide space for the Azir, but the front line is quickly falling. The Croc is forced to flash backwards. The Starry Gauge cannot save him! Angel, can he be a hero? 1v5. Can he find the angle? It's not gonna happen today! haichao comes up huge for OMG at the 41-minute mark, and OMG are gonna push in to pick up game 1.
No gold lead, no Azir, no problem for OMG. They end up making it count in the biggest moment, winning the fight and taking this first game to really put EDG on the back foot.